Dear students, I Rajeshwari Shirkanhalli welcome you all in Nagesh Karasgi Orchid School channel. Students, in the last session we started with chapter number 1, that is crop production and management. In that we have discussed that the similar plants grown on a large area is called as a crop. We have seen two different types of crops. They are Kharif crops and Rabi crops. Kharif crops are grown in rainy season, and in our country the rainy season lasts from June to September, and after that from October to March, 6 months. In this period of time the Rabi crops are grown. Okay, so Rabi crops are grown in winter. After seeing these two cropping patterns, we have also discussed that along with these two cropping patterns there are some other crops like of pulses, vegetables, etc. They are grown even in summer season also. So why these different cropping patterns are used? Because the climatic conditions are different from region to region in our country, and because of that different types of the crops are grown. After that we have seen that there are different agricultural practices required for the proper production of the crops. We have seen preparation of the soil, then sowing, irrigation, adding fertilizers, manures, then storage, harvesting, storage, etc. All these are the different agricultural practices which are taken by the farmer, and as a result the grains are obtained. So in that we have discussed about the first agricultural practice, that is preparation of soil. Preparation of soil is also called as tilling or plowing. In this the soil is turned and made loose so that air can go inside the soil, earthworms and microbes can grow more properly, and they can increase the humus content in the soil. Then roots can breathe deeper, and they breathe very easily in such aerated soil. After seeing about the first agricultural practice, that is preparation of soil, we started seeing some agricultural implements. In that we have discussed about the first agricultural implement, that is the plough, which is used for tilling the land. Now we will discuss about the second agricultural implement, that is nothing but the hoe. So let us see what is hoe. We have discussed about plough, now we will see about hoe. What is hoe? It is a simple tool which is used for removing weeds and for loosening the soil. So the function of hoe is to remove weeds and loosen the soil. For these two purposes we use hoe. It has a long rod of wood or iron. A strong, broad and bent plate of iron is fixed to one of its ends. So how is the structure of hoe? It consists of a strong, broad and bent plate of iron which is fixed to one of its ends and works like a blade. It is pulled by animals. So it's shown here in the figure 1.1b, a hoe. So here you can see the handle and it's a grip. This is a this is a bent plate, and this is a long rod of iron. So this is about the second agricultural implement, that is hoe, which is used for mainly removing the weeds. Okay, now the third agricultural implement is cultivator. Nowadays ploughing is done by tractor driven cultivator. Okay, so ploughing and cultivator both are attached to the same, that is tractor is used for ploughing and it has a cultivator. You can see here in this figure, this is a cultivator. The use of cultivator saves labor and time. Okay, so cultivator driven by tractor. What happens because of this cultivator? The labor and time of the farmer can be saved. So this is all about the different implements, that is plow, hoe and cultivator used. Now let us go to the second agricultural practice after preparation of soil is sowing. Sowing is the most important part of the crop production. Before sowing, good quality seeds are selected. Okay, sowing is nothing but sowing of the seeds, but if we sow good quality seeds, then we get good quality crops. If we sow bad quality seeds, then we get bad quality crops, isn't it? So the first step before sowing is selection of the seeds. So good quality seeds are to be selected. Good quality seeds are clean and healthy seeds of a good variety. So to which type of seeds we call it as good quality seeds? Which are clean and which are healthy seeds. Farmers prefer to use seeds which give a high yield. So which type of the seeds are used by the farmers? Mainly the seeds which give high yield. So let us see how to select the seeds. Selection of seeds. Pehli saying here, one day I saw my mother put some gram seeds in a vessel and pour some water on them. After a few minutes, some seeds started to float on top. I wonder why some seeds float on water. So here what Pehli observed, she saw that her mother had put some gram seeds in a vessel and most of the seeds got sunken, but there were some seeds which started floating on the surface of the water. Now Pehli has wondered that why some seeds float on water. Can you guess why some seeds do not sink but float on the water? To understand that, let us perform an activity. Activity 1.1. In that, take a beaker or you can use any transparent container and fill half of it with water. Okay, so fill half of that container with water. Put a handful of wheat seeds and stir well. So what you have to do? You have to take a beaker or any transparent container, glass container or plastic container, anything can be done. So you should take like that one container and fill half of it with water. Then take a handful of wheat seeds and put in that and stir well. Then wait for some time and observe. Are there seeds which float on water? So when you do this activity, you will find that some seeds will float on the water. Would those be lighter or heavier than those which sink? So some seeds which float on water are lighter than the others which sink. The heavier seeds sink in the water and the lighter seeds float on the water. Why would they be lighter? Because they are damaged seeds. Damaged seeds become hollow and are thus lighter. Therefore, they float on the water. So they become hollow from inside. So they become light in the weight, and that's why they start floating on the surface of water. Whereas the good quality seeds, they sink in the water. So this is a good method for separating good healthy seeds from the damaged ones. So how you have to select when you perform this activity? The seeds which sink in the water are to be selected. They are good quality healthy seeds, and whereas the seeds which float on the surface of water are the damaged seeds. Then you can just remove these seeds. Okay, so before sowing, one of the most important tasks to know about the tools used for sowing seeds. Let us see what tools are used for sowing purpose. So they are shown in the figure 1.2a and b. I will show you later on. Let us see what is traditional tool. The tool used traditionally for sowing seeds is shaped like a funnel, which is shown in the figure 1.2a. This is the first figure. You can see here there is a funnel shaped tool. So, this is one of the traditional tool in which the seeds are poured and the seeds travel through this long pipe and then gets filled in the seed drill. Okay, so the seeds are filled into the funnel, passed down through 2 or 3 pipes having sharp ends. So, the other end of these pipes are having sharp ends, okay, they are sharp. These ends pierce into the soil, they go deep inside the soil and place the seeds there. So, instead of making seed drills and all, this is one tool used traditionally in which there are pipes and to which a funnel like structure is attached. Seeds are poured in that funnel like structures, the seeds travel through, they pass through those pipes and the other end of that pipes are sharp enough, so they are pierced in the soil. So, the seeds are passed into that part of the soil and the seeds are placed over there. So, that is a traditional tool. Now, second one is a seed drill. So, this is a seed drill. Let us see what is a seed drill. Nowadays, the seed drill which is shown here in this figure is used for sowing with the help of tractors. Okay, so now here traditional tool is not used generally nowadays. Tractors are used and seed drills are used for sowing the seeds. This tool sows the seeds uniformly at proper distances and depths. So, seed drill is used and as you see here, there is a regular gap in between this and that is why the seeds are sown uniformly at proper distances and at proper depths. It ensures that seeds get covered by the soil after sowing. So, this seed drill makes the holes, seeds are sown in that and then again seeds get covered by the soil also after sowing. So, this prevents damage caused by birds. Okay, so, here the seeds are not left open, they get covered by the soil. So, birds cannot come and damage these seeds. So, sowing by using a seed drill saves time and labor. Okay. So, as compared to traditional tool, seed drill is more advantageous as it saves time and labor. Now, there is a nursery near my house, near my school. I found that little plants were kept in small bags. Why are they kept like this? So, Bhujo has a question for you all. He has seen a nursery near his school and there he found that some plants were kept in small bags. Why are they kept like this? Students, you also might have seen in the nurseries, the small saplings are kept in small bags, generally in the black color plastic bag, isn't it? Seeds of a few plants such as paddy are first grown in a nursery. When they grow into plantlets, they are transplanted in the field manually. Okay, so seeds of some plants like paddy crops, they are first grown in the nursery, then when they grow into small plantlets, then they are taken from there and transplanted in the field manually. Some forest plants and flowering plants are also grown in the nursery. So, you all must have seen the flowering plants in the nursery. Okay. An appropriate distance between the seeds is important to avoid overcrowding of plants. So, when the seeds are sown, there should be a proper appropriate distance between the seeds. Otherwise, if the seeds are sown very close to each other, then it becomes overcrowding, and when the plantlets are grown, they start competing with each other for getting sunlight, water, nutrients and space. So, that results in damage of many crops. So, this overcrowding can be avoided by keeping a proper appropriate distance between the seeds. This allows plants to get sufficient sunlight, nutrients and water from the soil. So, if there is a proper distance between the seeds, then plants, when they grow from these seeds, they get proper sufficient sunlight, they get nutrients, they get water from the soil. Sometimes a few plants have to be removed to prevent overcrowding. So, sometimes what happens, if suppose some plants are grown very close to each other and there is an overcrowding, then some plants have to get removed from those areas. So, students, this is about the second agricultural practice, that is sowing. Traditionally it was done with the help of a funnel attached to the pipes, but nowadays a seed drill driven by a tractor is used for sowing the seeds. Now, the next step is adding manure and fertilizers. So, let us see what is done in this practice. The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. So, what are manures and fertilizers? These are the substances which provide nutrients to the crops. So, for healthy growth of plants, nutrients are to be supplied, and these are supplied in the form of manure and fertilizers. Now, here again Bhujo has a question for you. He is saying that I saw a healthy crop growing in a farm. In the neighboring farm, the plants were weak. Why do some plants grow better than others? So, you might have guessed right that some plants grow better than others if they get all the nutrients, and if they do not get nutrients, they grow weak. For getting nutrients, what is essential? Addition of the manures and fertilizers. Soil supplies mineral nutrients to the crop. These nutrients are essential for the growth of plants. Okay, so nutrients are supplied to the crop for their proper growth by the soil. Soil supplies mineral nutrients. In certain areas, farmers grow crop after crop in the same field. So, for getting more income in certain fields, what the farmers do, they grow one crop after the another crop. The field is never left uncultivated in such places. So, the field is never left uncultivated or fallow. Imagine what happens to the nutrients. So, if the field is not left uncultivated and continuously if the crops are grown in the field, then continuously the nutrients are used by the crops. So, continuous growing of the crops makes the soil poorer in such certain nutrients. So, if the nutrients are used continuously, then the soil becomes poorer in certain nutrients. When it happens, if we grow the crops continuously. Therefore, farmers have to add manure to the fields to replenish the soil with nutrients. Okay, so to bring back the nutrients into the soil, nutrients are supplied by the farmers in the form of manures. So, farmers add manures to the fields to replenish the soil with nutrients. This process is called manuring. Improper or insufficient manuring results in weak plants. So, manuring also should be done at the right time and in right proportion the manure should be added. Otherwise, improper or insufficient manures are added, then the result is the plants become weak. So, manure is an organic substance obtained from the decomposition of the plant or animal waste. So, how the manures are formed? They are formed because of the decomposition process of plants or animal wastes. Farmers dump plant and animal waste in a pit at open places and allow it to decompose. So, there in the field only at some place, at some open place, a pit is formed and farmers dump all the plant waste and animal waste in that. Then with the due course of time, these waste materials get decomposed. Obviously, this is done by decomposers. The decomposition is caused by some microorganisms. So, these microorganisms which cause decomposition of these waste materials are called as decomposers. The decomposed matter is used as organic manure. You have already learnt about vermicomposting in class 6. Okay, so manure is done by decomposition of the waste materials. Okay, students, now there is an activity for you. Take moong or gram seeds and germinate them. Select 3 equal sized seedlings out of these. Now take 3 empty glasses or similar vessels, mark them A, B and C. To glass A, add little amount of soil mixed with a little cow dung manure. In glass B, put the same amount of soil mixed with a little urea. Take the same amount of soil in glass C without adding anything. So, students, what you have to do in this? First of all, you have to take moong or gram seeds and you have to germinate them. You know how germination of the seeds is done. Soak them overnight and then remove them and tie in a wet cloth or just keep it, then they get germinated. So, select 3 equal sized seedlings. After germination, whatever seedlings you get, select 3 equal sized seedlings and now you have to use 3 empty glasses. You have to mark these glasses as glass A, glass B and glass C. In all the 3 glasses, you have to take the same amount of soil. Okay. So, in glass A, along with that soil, you have to mix some cow dung manure. In second glass, that is glass B, along with that soil, you have to mix some urea. And in third, you should not mix anything in the soil. Okay. Now, pour the same amount of water in each glass and plant the seedlings in them. Then in all the 3 glasses A, B, C, you have to pour the same amount of water and then you have to plant seedlings in each of the glass. Keep them in a safe place and water daily. After 7 to 10 days, observe their growth. Okay, in this first figure, you can see there are 3 glasses shown and preparation for this experiment is shown. These are the 3 glasses A, B, C and all the required things, that is seedlings, then soil, water, cow dung, urea, everything is kept over here. So, that is shown in the first figure. Now, you have to water daily for 7 to 10 days and after that you have to check the growth of the plants in each of the glass. So, you will find growing seedlings with manure and fertilizer. So, look at the figure, this is glass A. Do you remember what is added in glass A? Soil plus cow dung manure. Okay. In glass B, soil plus urea and in glass C only soil. Now tell me, observe this figure and tell me, did all plants in all the glasses grow at the same pace? No. Which glass? Just observe the height of the plants in these all the glasses. So, in which glass the height is the height of the plants is more and in which it is the less, maximum and minimum. So, in which there is more better growth of plants? in which grasses was the growth fastest. You see that better growth of plants is observed in the first, in which manure is there, but fastest growth is in the second glass, in which fertilizer is added, and in the absence of this manure and fertilizers, the growth is very less, which is shown in the third glass. Fertilizers are chemical substances which are rich in particular nutrient. How are these different from manure? Manure are organic substances which are formed by the decomposition of animal waste and plant waste, and whereas fertilizers are chemical substances which are made in the factories. So, fertilizers are produced in factories. Some examples of fertilizers are urea, which we have used in this activity, then ammonium sulphate, superphosphate, potash, NPK fertilizer. NPK stand for nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. N stands nitrogen, P stands phosphorus and K stands potassium. Students, the symbol for potassium is K, because this symbol is derived from its Latin name kalium. So, NPK fertilizer means it consists of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. The use of fertilizers has helped farmers to get better yield of crops such as wheat, paddy and maize. But the excessive use of fertilizers has made the soil less fertile. Okay, so by adding fertilizers, more yield of the crops like of wheat, paddy, maize can be obtained, but if the fertilizers are added excessively, if they are used excessively, then the soil loses its fertility, it becomes less fertile. Fertilizers have also become a source of water pollution. So, students, as these are not the natural substances, fertilizers are the chemical substances which are produced in the factories. So, when excess fertilizers are added during the rainfall, this excess fertilizers get washed away to the nearby water reservoirs, and because of that the nearby water reservoirs become polluted. So, it is a source of water pollution. Therefore, in order to maintain the fertility of the soil, we have to substitute fertilizers by organic manure or leave the field uncultivated, fallow in between two crops. So, as fertilizers have some disadvantages, they are chemical substances and they are the source of water pollution. So, instead of using fertilizers, manure should be used, and similarly in between two crops some time gap is required, means the field should be left uncultivated in between two crops. So, the use of manure improves soil texture as well as its water retaining capacity. It replenishes the soil with all the nutrients. So, the advantage of manure over fertilizer is that manure improves the soil texture and water retaining capacity of the water of the soil increases. Similarly, the soil gets replenished with all the nutrients. Another method of replenishing the soil with nutrients is through crop rotation. This can be done by growing different crops alternatively. So, you are going to study about this crop rotation in next year 9th standard. Earlier farmers in northern India used to grow legumes as fodder in one season and wheat in the next season. So, these are two different crops, isn't it? Legumes and wheat. This is called as crop rotation. This helped in the replenishment of the soil with nitrogen. Farmers are being encouraged to adopt this practice. In the previous classes, you have learnt about rhizobium bacteria which are present in the nodules of the roots of leguminous plants. They fix atmospheric nitrogen. So, students, gather more information about this process of nitrogen fixation We will discuss about it in the next session. Similarly, we will see about the differences between fertilizers and manure in the next session. So, today we have discussed about the second agricultural practice, that is sowing, and the third one, that is adding manure and fertilizers. We have also discussed about agricultural implements which are used for carrying out these practices. So, just go through the lesson and mark important points. We will stop here. Thank you.